Yo. What's good, y'all? Anthony here with the movie blog, and welcome back to The Correct Opinion. This is going to be the only spot where your favorite shows and movies are going to get respectfully dragged and properly hyped. So, tonight we're cooking up everything from Sinners to The Last of Us. And trust me, that my takes are going to be fresh out the pot. Plus, this is where it's all going to start. Every clip, every breakdown, every short you see this week, it all starts right here, right now, right now, live with all of y'all. So do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe if you're about that life, and let's jump into it. All right, so let's get into the main event. I normally like to go into other things. Let's get into the main event. Let's get into the apocalypse portion of tonight's show. The Last of Us season 2 is officially back, and episode 1 pulled up on us like a bad dream and a therapy bill all combined. Um, in this episode, there's a lot to discover. So let me go ahead, bring up my little side screen here, and let's start getting into it. So let me go ahead, share what I got. There we go. Not that. Better. All right. So there's a lot that happened in this episode. Now, some of you guys who've been rocking with me for a little while already know that I've been going through playing the game, trying to get caught up on all the stuff that happens through season 2. I failed miserably, but I'm still enjoying the show because the portions that happen in episode 1 aren't all that out of my realm of familiarity. Now, for those of you who've never played the game, thinking about playing the game, I'm not going to spoil everything for you. I'm not going to do all those deep dive comparisons. I am, however, going to point out some of the things that also did happen in the game for those of us who are rocking with and enjoying all of these little moments and callbacks, like when Ellie threw the dang on bottle. Like, that was huge. Throwing the bottle was huge. But this episode opened up with my man Joel doing what Joel does best. And that is saving the day and committing heavy duty war crimes with a smile. It started with that flashback where we saw Joel just cutting down all the fireflies, going for Father of the Year if the year was 2025 and morals were negotiable. But he sit there and we see it weigh on him because they had that really cool moment where we saw Ellie and Joel having a conversation that we saw at the end of season 1, except now in season 2, that scene had a little bit more room to breathe. There was a little bit more footage, seemingly as if they took footage that was recorded in season 1 that was a little bit expanded on, cut it short, and saved it for season 2. Now, in this episode, we also get introduced to Abby. Do I have an image of Abby? I got an image of Abby. I better have an image of Abby. Where's my girl Abby? Here we go. So we also get introduced to Abby. Now, in the game, Abby's motivations stay hidden for like a really, really long time. And in the show, they hit you early, real early, right? Daddy dead, vengeance mode on. That's HBO for you. No mystery, just emotional wreckage right up front. And it made us have to confront one of the moral questions from the video game a lot earlier. Was Joel right to save Ellie, even knowing the cost? Y'all let me know in the chat. Yes or no, if y'all think Joel was doing the right thing by taking out all the fireflies and taking out so many people to save his surrogate daughter, especially when she had the hope of creating a cure for this new fungal infection or whatever they're calling it. I don't know if infection is the right term. Also, are you glad that they showed Abby's motive early, or did it kind of spoil the tension? Now, this is one of the questions that I asked myself up front because this is a big, big change. And the way that the story reveals itself in the video game, chef's kiss. But of course, they got to adapt and change things for television. But I'm curious for any of you who have played the game, what did you think about this change? Now, in this episode, we also get to skip ahead and we see that this show takes place after a time skip. Now, the time skip is in line with everything that we've seen from the series so far, right? The first time we get introduced to Joel, he was a young dad. He tried to save his daughter. His brother was with him, and it was during the outbreak of this infection. Then they time skip 20 years later. Joel went from being 35 to being 55 when we first met him, and he met Abby. Now this takes place 5 years later than that, and Joel is presumably in his 60s, and he's got a therapist now. Like, we're still in Jackson, Wyoming, but Joel's doing construction by day, therapy by night with Catherine O'Hara, you know, the mom from Home Alone, out here telling Joel to open up his heart before he catches another body. Meanwhile, Ellie's out here training like she's about to join Street Fighter 7. Fun fact for the deep divers, Joel doing therapy? This never happened in the game, right? This character never existed in the game. This is a brand new HBO flavor to make you feel guilty about loving him. It also adds that layered conundrum and just leans into it. Ellie's not really talking to Joel right now. Things are rough between them. Other people have issues with Joel too. However, Joel was the protagonist, right? We were riding with him for a full season. We were rooting for him, even though he was doing not so good things. But were we right to support him? That's the question. Were we watching a villain story and not even realizing it? Now, I love this moral conundrum, and I love the way that this story plays with that. Now, in the video game, it hits a little bit deeper, I think, because you're not just watching the story play out, you're actually pressing the button, right? You're the one pulling the trigger, you're pressing it. You feel a connection and invested with the character that you spend so much time with, and you also feel some of the moral dilemma because you remember pulling the trigger. And of course, they got that forced feedback, so it's right when you're right when it happens. I'm curious, again, what do all my video game heads out there think about this new light being painted on Joel very, very early in the series? Now, one other thing that happens in this episode is we got to see some of the early stages of Ellie and Dina. Apologies, these images are a little, ooh, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea, but we see this early relationship start to form with Ellie and Dina. Now, it wasn't in this scene right here, but we do see Ellie and Dina step out to go on patrol, and oh snap, as they step out, there's a new infected out there. And this infected is faster, it's smarter, it's sneakier. It's like somebody gave clickers a masterclass in cardio. Like, this girl pounced on her. Stalkers exist in the game, but the show makes them way smarter, way scarier. Because one thing is when you're playing the game, you can't really see things that aren't in the point of view of the character. You can only see where the character's looking. But the episode, they have a little bit more leeway with giving us different angles where we get to see that the stalker is like hiding in plain sight in the background, and you don't really see that she's there until she starts moving. Less Gurr stumbling around and more I'm outside your window right now vibes. I really, really love what they did with the stalker in this scene, because we've seen Ellie level up to a point where she's hyper confident with her abilities to take out stalkers. It's almost like the Walking Dead characters by the time we roll into season 7. It's just like, oh, zombies, you know, they're swatting at them like they're swatting flies, and she's treating the infected as a threat similar to the way those characters do the walkers. I like that we find that they come up with a threat that makes them a lot more dangerous. It makes it seem like the danger is back and it's real again because the fungi are evolving. I'm wondering how many of y'all first spotted the stalker in the background before it started moving, and how many of y'all jumped when that stalker like tackled Ellie on the ground and bit her in the stomach. Like, that was a moment for me. That was a big moment for me because I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I'm already kind of scary. Like, it don't take much to make me jump scare, but I still love it. I really love the directing in this scene. Yeah, Gothic chick, I see you. Yes, that was smart directing. That I really love the directing in that scene. It was chef's kiss. Shout out to Craig Mazin for, I think, writing and directing this episode, who comes back after being showrunner of season 1 and works very, very closely with video game director and consultant for this show, Neil Druckmann. Again, chef's kiss to everybody involved with making this scene. I love the way that this stalker looked. I love the way that they made her scary. It almost looked like she was like a reindeer. She gave me reindeer vibes, kind of squirrel girl vibes. She's almost cute if she wasn't so freaking terrifying, even with those piercing blue eyes. This chick ain't got no nose. This chick ain't got no nose. I don't like to be hunted by somebody with no nose. That just, it disrespects me and makes me question whether or not I need to do better in life. But I am very, very, very much enjoying what I saw from this episode in the early moments, right down to this level of detail. Now, I will admit the game did a lot to pace itself to start to establish this set before I started to go out into the world and get into adventures. And we see a lot of that happening here with this very first episode, bringing us up to speed with our characters, introducing a new threat that's going to foreshadow more new threats coming later in the season, as well as bringing that sense of terror and vulnerability back to our characters, right? Ellie might be immune, but she can still get beat to death. Then we also see some moments with this scene here with Ellie going to the New Year's Eve party. Now, this scene right here comes straight out of the video game, straight down to the way that they filmed this moment and gave us that behind the back Christopher Nolan camera shot. I love this shot, and I love that they recreated it almost perfectly. Now, for those of you who played the game, you guys know just how cinematic that game is. It's like, it is the definition of movie and interactive story and video game all in one. It felt like this transition was going to be so seamless when we were playing the game, and they proved that it was with this scene right here. We get to this scene where Dina and Ellie are at the New Year's Eve party. They start dancing, and we start to notice just how close Dina and Ellie actually are. Now, Ellie already gave us foreshadowing of this moment when she was writing in her journal and letting us know that she has a huge crush on Dina. Used to date someone else, but now has a huge crush on Dina. And also the triangle going on because Dina has been dating somebody else. But then this moment happens. And it's actually kind of beautiful. Just to see them have that dance, just to hear Dina spit game. Because listen, I don't often hear women spit game, and I know a lot of guys can say the same thing. Like, we're just not used to being flirted with, so hearing women flirt just, it's just like music to my ears. It's like candy to my ears. And then Dina and Ellie share that kiss. And it looked awkward as hell because it don't look like Ellie's been kissing anybody ever before because her eyes was open. It was all, but Dina was still with it. And what happens? Some hating ass dude throws a homophobic slur from the sidelines. And I love how Joel steps in, hands are thrown, and knocks him out like the dad should. But Ellie's like, sir, you dead named my independence. Like, come on, big emotional earthquake moment. Like, she did not like any of that. And it harkens back to the early part of the episode where we saw Ellie was doing that training with the other person in Jackson, Wyoming. It was helping her having that little fight scene. And when she found out that punches were being thrown or at least held back, she was upset. Now we see that Ellie is at this stage in her life where not only does she feel she has independence, I can do it myself, all that stuff that kids go through. She wants to level up even further, right? She's already a big threat. She's already taken out, all of these infected by herself with just a knife, but she wants to become even stronger, even more capable, and she's training to get that way. Now, I love that we see this from her. I love that we see where she's at mentally. She's at that stage of, puberty, where she's going from being a child to a woman even more. and just really just asserting her independence. She's taking that independence from Joel. I think in the first season, Ellie was like 13 or something. She was just a little girl. With it being 5 years later, she's got to be like 18, maybe 19 years old right now, which is that stage of life where kids start to realize they are adults and they have the reins released from them from their parents enough that they can start making adult decisions and adult mistakes for themselves. So yeah, I loved all of that. We got so much in this episode with just learning the new relationship between Joel and Ellie, mainly because of Joel withholding information from her about what he did to the Fireflies. And then we got this new threat that's just coming in from multiple directions. I think in this episode, they talked about how the infected can create something like a hive mind. And we get this scene here where we see the tendrils are coming through the pipes, making their way closer and closer to the town that they all live in. I love this scene here even as just as much because at the beginning of the episode, we saw them, discovering the busted pipe. We see Dina go to Joel and is like, hey, you're supposed to be overseeing construction. Can you go out there and make sure the guys are taking care of the busted pipes? And he's too distracted trying to fix a circuit breaker that he just doesn't do it. And he just goes to therapy instead after. But his neglect is what left them without his critical eye, his critical thinking, his leadership skills to identify and make sure, hey, we might be short on caulk for caulking up this busted pipe, but I could probably notice that there's tendrils coming through this pipe that we should take care of. Now, with the hive mind that was alluded to earlier in the episode, it's giving us the hint that something bad is going to happen, right? If these tendrils are able to detect that there are humans here, food for the fungus, it can communicate to fungal infected people from miles away and alert them of what's going on because it's just passing information back and forth as long as they're connected to the tendrils. It's like a horror version of Super Mario Brothers with these guys coming out in the pipes. And in the distance, Abby and her squad lurking like a Netflix true crime documentary. Like, this season isn't just about survival. It's going to be a lot of emotional terrorism. So yeah, again, was Joel right to save Ellie even knowing the cost? Are you glad that they showed Abby's motive early, or did it spoil the tension? And who's more terrifying, smarter infected or emotionally damaged Joel? HBO really said, let's emotionally body slam the fans first and then introduce the zombies. And honestly, I'm not mad. Anyway, drop your predictions for this season in the comments. Do you think they'll go through the entire game? Do you think it's just going to be a segment of the game? We already know season 3 has been approved and it's going to be coming soon. So let me know what you think in the comments. Smash that like button like Joel smashing a Firefly skull if you're just now joining us. And subscribe if you're new here and you're ready for more apocalypse therapy sessions with me every week. Anyway, that's what I have for The Last of Us. Let me go ahead and see what you guys are saying in the comments. What did you guys think of this episode? Let me see what you all are saying. Let me move this screen. How about that? Gothic Chick, I don't know. Mr. Leo G, yes, you do need to watch it. You're not watching this yet? You didn't watch The Last of Us? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, son. You remember that from Hot 97? Come on, son. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. Let me see what else you guys. You didn't notice the stalker at first. The stalker. You didn't notice. I like when they do these cool camera tricks because you can have the same old story of a little girl going through a scary situation, Jurassic Park style, and it's just the right camera angle that makes it super, super interesting and entertaining. But yeah, I didn't know that interview. You want me to interview? Who you want me to interview? I don't know if I can interview anybody. Like, I'll try, but let me know if that's what you're asking me for. Dora the Explorer and Gone and Grown Up. Yeah. Abby is on level. She was like level 2, level 3 when we left her at season 1. Now she's like level 8, trying to get up to level 9. But she didn't realize there's way more levels, right? The game was just like, oh, all right, this is a 60 level game. It's like a Bungie game. Like there's way more levels. Like you can handle your local threats, but we about to hit you with something harder. Fernando, what's up, everyone? Sorry, look, you just in time. Listen, we're sitting here talking about The Last of Us. If you've seen The Last of Us, let me know what you thought about this episode. What was your favorite moment from this episode? If you played the game, what did you notice that they changed from the game, or what did you notice that they kept in the game? I think one of my favorite moments, and I mentioned this earlier, was when Ellie was in that store and the stalker was stalking her and she threw the bottle. Right? Just throwing the bottle, like just that moment, throw the bottle to get the infected or the clickers' attention and have them come running and then jump them. I love that they brought that moment directly from the game because we didn't get anything like that in season 1, right? You look for certain things to happen in video game adaptations, right? Mario's got to get a fire flower. Sonic has got to go supersonic or at least get a ring or a chaos emerald. Like we need to see Ellie and Joel throw a bottle. This is critical right here. She is too cocky and disrespectful to Joel. So, yes, she is cocky. Yes, she is disrespectful. But does Joel deserve it? Because Joel's been lying to her. He lied to her. Like, Ellie was so invested in helping to create a cure after what was that little boy's name? The black boy from that town in season 1. Once she met him and then she got close to him and then he got bit and she wanted to cure him and all this stuff. Like she became so invested in helping to create a cure. And Joel doesn't actually explain to her why that didn't, not honestly anyway, why that didn't happen. Now, true, she probably didn't know that she would have died in the process, but Joel probably knows that had she known, she probably still would have did it, right? She would have been like that selfless to do it, and he was being selfish in that moment and not wanting to lose another daughter. So there's that. Oh, man. But yeah, I hear you. She is being disrespectful to Joel, but and part of me feels like Joel's got it coming. You know what I mean? Let's see. The first episode started the second season off good. I like the therapy scene with Joel. How many of y'all recognize the woman giving him therapy? I want y'all to show me in the hands. Show hands in the comments. How many of y'all recognized her and knew who she was? And if you just now joining, extra 10 points if you remember what she's from. I think they're going to go through the entire game in season 2. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like I've been playing the game for a solid 20, maybe 30 hours. And I don't feel like the game is anywhere. The end is anywhere in sight right now. It feels like there's still a whole lot more game to go through. So I'm curious just what's going to happen there. Let me see what else we got. Felt like Ellie had some kind of connection to that place. Henry and Sam. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. Joel went John Wick. Yo, the way Joel can just clear a room like a superhero is wild to me. But Abby, this is gonna be a tough season because Abby's not wrong. Oh man, say his name 3 times. Yes. There's your 10 points, Fernando. You get it. Beetlejuice and Home Alone. Yes, 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 yes. Oh man, yes. All right. Y'all with me tonight. Anyway, let me see. What else did any other things about that episode? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. I think I'm gonna move on to the next segment right now, which is me not being prepared. Oh man, I really thought I had this all down. Where's it at? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Of course I am. Here we go. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. Oh, here we go. That's what it was. So How many of y'all saw this the other day? Right? I was sitting here, I was browsing the internets as I do, because like Nolly, I am also chronically online. And something that came across my screen was this dude. How many of y'all saw this the other day? So I have so many things to say about this man right here. Mahershala Ali finally showed up as Blade in animation, and not just Blade. Like, he merged with Moon Knight. He got crescent knives, white leather, and a whole set of emotional issues. It's giving me Therapy by Moonlight. And honestly, Marvel's animation is carrying the brand right now. Like, at this point, the only thing that's live action in the MCU is probably Kevin Feige's and Nate Moore's stress levels. But why does it feel like Marvel seems more confident in experimenting in animation than live action Blade, right? Blade was announced like 6 years ago. And figuring out how to get two-time Academy Award-winning actor Mahershala Ali into the MCU is one of the most painstaking processes I've ever witnessed in the world of film, right? This is almost up there with The Rock playing Black Adam, or maybe Channing Tatum playing Gambit, except for the fact that this movie was actually announced. But let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's focus on what it is that we do have with this version of Blade. That's also a Moon Knight. Are you guys feeling this look? Like, I saw this and I was like, this is kind of a cool concept. I can absolutely see a half vampire working with the god of the moon and then just leveling up on some whole other status. And I actually think that this is kind of cool. However, it's also extremely bittersweet because it is that harsh reminder that we still do not have a Blade movie. That, ooh. Let me see what you all are saying about this in the comments, because this one is, whew. All right. Joel does what's best for Joel. Yes, he does. I definitely rock with Joel, and Ellie should definitely not complain about dude pulling his punches. Yo, Ellie is gonna be a problem. Ellie is gonna be a problem because her actress is not a large woman, and it's probably for the best that they didn't cast someone super muscular to play Abby, because now it seems more of like a fair matchup, but it's going to be a problem. You know, I was sitting here for a long time and it didn't sit well with me at first that Abby was super lean. She's not, like, if you see in the video game, she's like Brock Lesnar. She's like, or Brock Lesnar's daughter. She's like a big, muscular woman. And like, to the point where people, like, you see her in the game and people move out her way so that she can pick things up for them. She can lift heavy things for them. Like, oh no, we need Abby for that. But as tiny as Ellie is, it's going to be rough. I don't want to ruin what happens to Ellie further, even before Abby, because there's more. But it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I think Abby is miscast. I'm not wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you, Maria. I'm not disagreeing with you on that one, because Abby, like, I was really looking forward to like I was really expecting a Rhea Ripley sized woman to come out and just, you know what I mean? Fernando, that looks crazy dope. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be talking about Mahershala Ali Moon Knight. For those of you just checking in for this segment, we was talking about The Last of Us. You could definitely rewind to it in the replay or look for that individual clip. But yeah, Moon Knight looks crazy dope. I would love to see him as Blade, as a variant of Blade. We need two-time Academy Award-winning actor Mahershala Ali to get into the MCU. It was easier to bring Robert Downey Jr. back after he won an award than it is to get this person who volunteered for the role in. They must have paid him some fee for Blade, so he got to get something for it. So I don't think it evens out, because even if they gave him some money up front, the lack of clarity as to when they were going to ever begin filming probably hindered his ability to take other roles if they had significant time commitments from him. So if you look back at the history of Mahershala Ali in films since then, he's only appeared in like 4, maybe 5 movies in that amount of time, which is a lot less films than some of the other contemporaries in the MCU. Don't even get me started on Chris Pratt. Don't get me started on, Chris Hemsworth. Like, these guys have gotten so many projects since the MCU. Mahershala Ali hasn't done as many because he's probably had to always try to factor in, like, at any point, I've got to go do a Marvel movie that can take me 3 to 6 months of my life, maybe more, right? With reshoots. So we don't know how that helped him, because it might have prevented and hindered his ability to take on other roles. Because that movie ain't coming out. Don't do that to me, bro. Don't do that. It's such a joke, the MCU. And the other thing is that Mahershala Ali, I'm assuming, had veto power. So there were scripts, and they almost got to the point where they were filming with a director. But not every director really likes working within the Marvel machine. Directors have come out and talked about it, where they're like, they don't have the role that they thought they were signing up for, or at least are more comfortable with. Like, a lot of directors like to write. They like to have say in the writing. They like to have say in the dialogue. They like to have say in the direction of the film. But Marvel is known to be a little bit more involved with the filmmaking than other studios, to the point where directors, and I think Nia DaCosta said this, it's more like you're not really directing as more as you're just, in the flow of the machine. You're just, there. I forget what she exactly said, but she talked about how it wasn't quite the status of control that she typically has when involved in films. And Marvel's been in this phase where they've been a lot more careful, or trying to be a little bit more intentional with what they're putting out there, because of critical feedback. At first they were just, whatever, people gonna watch it anyway, put this out, put that out, put this out. And then when the feedback started coming back and they finally got permission to change the approach from Bob Iger, they've been a little bit more reserved. It's got George R.R. Martin vibes. Yeah, it's cool, but we want the main course. Yeah, I can see that now. It's got that like a White Walker mixed with Man on the Wall type deal. I feel you. Ellie's gonna get someone killed. I'm not gonna touch that. Abby is China. Aw, shout out to Joni Lar. China, yo, you brought me back. Every time I watch Rhea Ripley, I'm like, I hope she constantly pays homage to China, because China walked so she could run. Man, if China had the type of women's roster then that the WWE has now, she would have thrived. Like, Rhea Ripley really, really is fortunate that she is here when she is. Anyway, that's maybe we'll do a WWE segment one day, maybe, because it's WrestleMania weekend. I'm hyped. I like it. He was brilliant in True Detective season 2. Yes, he was. It's weird seeing Blade recast while the legendary Wesley Snipes is still able to do some kind of Blade, maybe an 80-year-old retired half vampire old man Blade. I'm okay with that. Listen, you know, I have this joke that I say with my friends sometimes that Marvel doesn't really like to cast anybody under the age of 50. Like all the 30-year-olds are played by 50 and 60-year-old actors, right? Robert Downey Jr. is what? How old is Robert Downey Jr.? He's 60 on the dot. He is 60 years old, and that is their most recent casting. So, right? That's how they're doing it. He's going to crush it in Jurassic World. You know, I'm a little concerned because, again, I only see him take roles that don't seem like they have a large commitment of time. Like he did a Netflix movie, but if I think I was watching the making of that movie, The World Is Something, and I think they said they shot the movie in like 2 or 3 weeks. Like they didn't spend a lot of time filming at all. So I'm a little worried because he's in a huge project like Jurassic World, which I know probably had a good amount of time devoted to just filming, that I wonder how far he makes it in the movie. You know what I mean? I'm a little nervous, just a little nervous. But I hope he makes it to the end, and then I hope that this is the beginning of something spectacular with him. Maybe carrying that franchise forward as Chris Pratt is gone. I would love to see him get into a franchise like that because I think he's more than capable and more than deserving. WrestleMania, I think sometimes you guys notice I wear a Levels Above t-shirt. Y'all know what that's for. There's only one, which is sad because I would love to see a multiverse, right? We got to see a multiverse of Johnny Storms, right? We got to see a multiverse of Mr. Fantastic with variants of them. We got to see a multiverse of Doctor Strange, which aren't even characters that I was sitting here asking for variants of. I was sitting here, I was like, I need a variant of T'Challa, and you know, let's go from there. And now that we've got Wesley Snipes back as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm okay with a multiverse of Blades. Let us have both versions of Blade. Let them interact with each other. Maybe sometimes one pops up in one movie, a different one pops up in another. That's what people have been asking for with the Spider-Man franchise ever since No Way Home. It's like, yo, let Toby pop up sometimes. Let Andrew pop up sometimes. It doesn't always have to be what we're getting now with the MCU Spider-Man. We can have the variants pop up too. It's cool. We're okay with it. We'll buy it. We'll give you our money. So yeah, I would love for them to figure out a way if we can have both Mahershala and Wesley. I think Wesley deserves to continue on as Blade, and I absolutely think Mahershala deserves it since he volunteered for the role 6 years ago when he didn't have to after coming off an Academy Award win. Wesley could be Mahershala's Whistler, sure, right? An older version of better yet, it could be like Terry McGinnis and Bruce Wayne, like in Batman Beyond, right? Could be Blade Beyond, like old man Wesley. Maybe he got some moves, some here and there. You know, he could pull out something, but Mahershala could just rock with it. Be like, hey, I'm a variant. I popped up in this timeline. I know you're here, but let me go ahead and school you in your role. Take my money, please. Oh my gosh, please take my money, please. By the way, I hope you guys love this new camera setup. I didn't want to hype myself up at first, but you might notice your boy's in HD now. He was also fantastic in Alita Battle Angel. I wish he had a bigger role because they started teasing him having more to do in a sequel. And Robert Rodriguez, I know he wants to do a sequel. I got to talk to him about it. You know, sometimes I pat myself on the back. I got to meet Robert Rodriguez. I got to tour his studio. He actually still has the set up. It's still up. He never tore down the set. The set is still there for Alita Battle Angel in Austin, Texas, in his studio lot. So, and he's holding out hope that he's going to be able to make the sequel someday. So I would love to see it. No more multiverse, please. Why not? No Way Home was fine. It's just when they do it bad that I don't like. Deadpool and Wolverine did it okay too. It's just, for a multiverse saga, didn't really hit with Doctor Strange. Do you remember how long Samuel Jackson lasted in the original Jurassic Park? Half the movie, maybe, right? And then one day we just see his hand still at the machine when they were trying to walk through the compound. Camera setup is fire. Thank you. Look, just in case y'all need to see it. It's the whole deal now. I invested in y'all. You have no idea how long this took me to put together, but I will share the information. I think I'll say something a little bit more, but I'm going to let you guys in on how all the magic happens. Samuel lasted quite a while. His death scene was cut in the movie about an hour. Okay, I mean, I wish he would have been like LL Cool J and made it to the end of the movie. But it is what it is. Let me see, what else did we have for tonight's show? Let me go ahead and move on to the next topic. Oh yeah. The Harry Potter cast is coming together for the TV show. Have you guys heard about this TV show? There's a TV show coming out about Harry Potter. And from what I understand, it's going to be like a reboot or a remake of the actual series that came before it. Now, for those of you who've not seen it, this is our first look at what we're hearing is going to be the cast. So there's a lot to unpack here, because when you look at everyone, it's like, okay, but what do we got? Right? So HBO finally pulled back the curtain on their new Harry Potter cast, and I think Snape's going to have waves or something. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on there. Nick Frost is Hagrid, which is fine. I just know this man's Hagrid. He's got a flask in one pocket and snacks in the other, maybe a doobie. John Lithgow as Dumbledore. That's not a wizard. That's your granddad giving inspiring speeches and then accidentally starts a forest fire. And Papa Sidhu as Snape. That man's about to deliver potions like spoken word poetry. Every time he speaks, it's going to sound like 10 points from Gryffindor for being loud and being wrong. Like, it's going to come out in a very interesting way. And then we've also got Cillian Murphy in the background, rumored to be up for the role of Voldemort. They're saying that Warner Brothers is after this man to play the role of Voldemort. Now, I said Voldemort or Snape, Cillian would have killed it. He would have been perfect in the role either way. But him being there and being our Voldemort, kind of like that too. Now, I'm really, really hyped to see exactly who they eventually cast as our main three. Harry, Hermione, and number 3. Oh man, but I'm really curious to see who they bring in to play Ron, Hermione, and Harry in this role, because they kind of open the door that they're open to race swapping characters, and this is a sentiment that is very touchy with people online. Now, I go back and forth with my feelings on race swapping characters. Sometimes I'm like, if a character is not intrinsically tied to race, then it's open to reinterpretation on what that character can look like, right? They did it in the Hunger Games, and I was like, all right, it's no big deal. They do it in Rings of Power, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching. It's kind of working, but And then there are times where I'm like, you know what? Listen. Some projects, it's okay if the cast is all one race, right? When I see movies about Egypt, hire Egyptians, right? That looks great. It looks perfect. Do it. When you have projects about Wakandans, hire Africans. Get Africans up in there. I love that. It works. Harry Potter is intrinsically British. And not that British is all just one race. However, when they originally cast Snape as someone, and they left him in that role, and I don't know, maybe some of you book readers can kind of let me know, how was he described in the book? Did they describe him like how he looked? I'm pretty sure if they didn't, he would be like, oh, he had pale skin. Like, did they do that? And I'm kind of torn about it. Like, I'm all for seeing people get work, people get elevated platforms, because I'm promising you right now, this is going to do for this cast the same thing that the movies did for the cast of those films, and just elevate their careers, right? Dan Radcliffe he can do whatever he wants. He can literally do whatever he wants. He if he wants to work, he can work. If he doesn't want to work, he doesn't have to work. He can do whatever he wants. So I'm happy to see characters get work, but I'm curious if this is really the hill people should be dying on. Like, I always feel like it's better to invest. You pick your battles. Better yet, just pick your battles. Pick your battles. So what battle you want to fight? Is Harry Potter the one that's worth the battle? It's already like muddy over there, right? People don't even like the creator of Harry Potter, but they still love Harry Potter because of her views. It's already wild over here. We already know what this audience is like. Is this really the right place and time to really have that conversation? I don't know. I'm trying to reserve judgment until I see a trailer or I see the cast in action, until I see an episode. But right now, I'm expecting people to come out with their opinions, and I'm actually expecting some venomous things to be said on social media platforms that will not be named, but we know which ones they are. And I expect them to hurl all sorts of foul things at this. Oh, it's woke. Oh, it's DEI. Oh, they're ruining Harry Potter. I'll never look at my books the same. Every time I turn the page, I'm going to think of this now. That's going to happen. What do y'all think? Is this the fight we're fighting? I don't know. I just don't know. What do y'all think? Let me see what y'all saying up in these comments, because I know y'all always got something juicy. I know some of y'all is going to speak up. Maria says, I love Harry Potter. Okay. Yes. It's some Potterheads out here. Oh, I didn't realize I was so tiny. Oh, it's some Potterheads out here. I respect that. I'm looking forward to the TV show. All right now. Tom Felton is Lucius Malfoy. And you know what? I still see Tom Felton pop up from time to time. He don't look like he works a whole lot, but he always pops up. I'm okay with it. And then what are the Potter fans called? The Potterdom? They show up and support him too. They be there right there with him at his movies. Like, all right, bruh. Wingardium Leviosa. My dude. Oh, man. This is an excellent cast. Yo, I'm loving it. John Lithgow is one of my favorite older actors. And as I've seen him since Third Rock from the Sun, I think it was, he just keeps getting better and better with age. I think he did an interview recently where he was discussing how he's getting older and how he had to really think about this decision because it was going to define the closing chapter of his career. John Lithgow is like 79 right now. He's almost 80. And to take on the Harry Potter, you gotta be around for at least 6-7 more years to film these scenes with Dumbledore. And I think he said he's going to be like 87 at the wrap party. It was going to be something. Yeah, it was going to be something monumental for him. So he acknowledged that taking on this role, even as amazing as we all know he's going to be, was one that required a lot of thought and contemplation just because of where he's at in his career and in his age at this point. But yeah, let me know what else you guys are saying. So they did describe him in the book. Okay. He is described as pale skin, shallow face. How did I know? Didn't I say they was going to say pale skin? Didn't I say that? All right. So pale skin, shallow face. But if he's a good actor and the writing is good, it won't matter. It didn't stop people from the Hunger Games. People still came out. People still had something to say. I am constantly in comments, unfortunately, commenting on posts where it's like, what's one of the most triggering statements I hear from people online is, I don't want DEI. I want good writing. And I'm sitting there and you guys have heard me say this before, and I say, this is casting. Right? It's like saying, oh man, I want good multiplication, so subtract. Like, this is not the same thing, bro. This is a different aspect of filmmaking. It's picking who plays the role, not the lines that they're going to say. Writing is the lines, the scenes, the description of all that, what happens, how the story progresses. Casting is a completely different role. So, and I'm sorry, I just had to share it with you guys because it's one of the most triggering, one of the most nonsensical things, illogical things that I hear people masquerade and hide behind because they don't want to say that they don't like the race of someone being cast. They don't want to admit it, at least to themselves, that that's what they're saying. And they're like, oh, I'm not racist. I just don't like DEI. DEI is race-based, bro. Anyway, going off on a tangent. We need to have a wait and see approach. Yes. They actually race swapped in the movies. Who they race swapped in the movies? The Asian girl that Harry had a crush on? Who did they race swap? Oh, please let me know, Gothic Chick. I'm looking for this. 95% of the people do judge on the content of the show. Films, books, it's the minority that get all the attention. It's the loudest that gets all the attention. Not just the minority, it's the loudest. So when these things get said, nobody is correcting them, right? Normally, like when something wild is being said, overwhelming people will correct it. They'll be like, and I'm not going to get into this debate with people, but it was people who's like, oh, the earth is flat. And then the internet came out and was like, are you dumb? Like, the internet came out in droves to correct that. They're like, no, it's not. It's not flat. Here are pictures. There's space. Katy Perry just went to space and said it was true. The earth is round. Like, the flat earthers were out there. The round earthers corrected them. There aren't a large number of people going online addressing this. It's always just, like, oh, you're saying something that's only those who are being offended are defending it, right? No, but it's not the majority of people, which is where the issue lies. If more people spoke up and addressed it in overwhelming numbers, those people wouldn't have the confidence to say it in the first place. It's because they know that nobody's going to correct them that they continue to do it. And rant. What is DEI? Never heard that term until Kamala ran for president. So diversity, equity, and inclusion is something that was created because in America, I think in the 60s or so, they noticed that within a lot of jobs, within a lot of industries, the ones that they could have higher forms of income were mostly dominated by one race and one gender. It was just men. There were never any women sitting on a board in a boardroom. There were unless they were bringing the coffee. There were never any women holding positions as doctors. Only men could be doctors. There were never any women serving in armed forces. Women were just considered that they can be nurses and medics. Not even medics, just nurses and assistants, as opposed to being surgeons and being soldiers. And DEI was something that was created to help break up the homogeny and gender domination of just men making up all of these roles. So DEI was created to say, hey, you got to break it up a little. Like, you guys are supposed to be hiring merit-based, but we're seeing something happening where you're only saying, hey, only these men have the skills and the talent to do this role. And everybody's like, no, man, I think I've met a smart woman. Like, you guys are playing, yeah. And then DEI was created so that women could get more jobs, Asian people could get more jobs, Latino people could get more jobs, Black people could get more jobs in higher ranking positions, because they were saying they were hiring based on merit, but everybody was only a male. Everybody was not Asian. Nobody was Asian. There was no Asian people sitting on a boardroom. There were no South Asian people sitting on a boardroom. There were no Black people sitting in the boardroom. It was only ever the same thing over thousands of companies. Like, thousands of companies are only made up of men that looked a certain way. And DEI was created because it was not being equitable. It wasn't proven to be merit-based. And it was forcing companies to be more merit-based because they just weren't obliging by the rules. So DEI was created so that, you know, you don't get discriminated based off of your sexual preferences or orientation. You don't get discriminated for being a woman. You don't get discriminated based off of your hairstyle, if you got tattoos, or if you're handicapped, right? Because Walmart and places that could hire people who were handicapped people weren't getting jobs. Veterans were coming back from wars with no legs and not getting work, which is wild. Like, these people are serving our country and they're coming back and becoming homeless. I can't tell you how many times I have to give money on the subway to some veteran who lost his leg protecting our country and he can't get a job. The DEI was created so he could get a job. So that's what DEI is. I love to see a show with the characters looking different than expected. I don't mind it. I've seen stories where, like, The Departed, weren't a lot of Black people in it. It was amazing. Inception, no Black people. Amazing film. Would Idris Elba have made Inception better? Probably, but it was cool. Hunger Games was pants. What do you mean by pants? So you don't agree with the casting of Snake? I need to see his performance in the role, and I just wonder if this is the argument that we need to have with people right now with this franchise, because I think Harry Potter, and I might be getting triggered because of Star Wars and John Boyega's comments recently, but I feel like Harry Potter is probably similar in fandom and will have a very bad reaction to the race swapping and casting of Snake. And I don't want this person's career to suffer getting caught up in something silly. Kelly Marie Tran, did y'all know she came out with a movie? Anybody in here know Kelly Marie Tran came out with a movie this year? You remember who Kelly Marie Tran is, right? Y'all remember what happened to her just for existing in Star Wars. Anybody see that she has a starring role in a movie this year? I won't even tell you the name of the movie. Did you know? What's up, bro? Hope all is well. Is it true Will Smith turned down the role of Neo in The Matrix? Yes, and he made a music video about it. He talks about it all the time. Happy Thursday update. I bought a few DC comics upon your recommendation. Green Lantern, let's go. Hold on. Where's my lantern rings? Oh, I must have moved them. I usually keep them close, but you know what? You made the right decision. I need you to let me know, Gabrielle, what you think of Blackest Night and the writing of Jeff Johns. And I need you to, I want you to finish, but you got to let me know what comics you bought. Let me know what comics you bought in the comments. Ron Weasley's girlfriend was swapped. It's a few more. They changed so many actors for different roles. Okay. All right. Nobody noticed? You know what? To be honest with you, this was like the early 2000s. If they were saying something, I didn't notice. I wasn't really following internet reactions to stuff like that. I was becoming a dad. So yeah. Anyway, what else did I want to talk about tonight? I had a couple other topics, but let me know what you all think about this in the comments. I'm still going through some of this stuff. What else is happening in these news, in these streets? Where's my tab? I got way too many tabs open. This happens. Yeah, guys, appreciate y'all bearing with me. There we go. It's just some quick pieces of news I wanted to talk about. The Matrix 5 is coming. The Matrix 5 is coming. The Matrix 5 is coming. Not only is the Matrix 5 coming, Drew Goddard is writing and directing. And I like all of this. This is the guy that brought us Netflix's Daredevil. Netflix, not Daredevil Born Again. Netflix's Daredevil, writer, director, showrunner. He is him. Put an apron on him, move the fuck out the way, and let this man cook. He is going to be working with the Matrix. I don't understand. You know, sometimes, and some of us can attest to this, we want some of our best favorite franchises to get in the hands of other creators. Now, for a long time, everybody wanted George Lucas to give Star Wars to other creators. And however, under a controlled environment, I think this can work very, very well. We're getting a revival and return of the Matrix, even after the Matrix 4, what a lot of people didn't like. I liked it. A lot of people didn't like, but it's coming back. Now, I am super excited for this because I totally expect Carrie-Anne Moss, Keanu Reeves to come back. I would love if Lawrence Fishburne can get involved. He recently did an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, where they were dissecting The Matrix, because The Matrix is Neil deGrasse Tyson's favorite movie. And he got to sit down with Lawrence, who just can't break character as Morpheus for some reason, going through his favorite moments. And one of the things that he revealed was that he offered his services for The Matrix 4. And he said they didn't respond well or something like that. He downplayed it, but it didn't happen. Even though he said, I'm in if you will have me. And they didn't take him up on his offer, which is, don't get me wrong, I love Yahya Abdul-Mateen. I think he did fine giving us a new Morpheus, but there's nothing like the voice, the gravitas, the cadence of Morpheus. Choose Neo. Like, when we think of the Matrix, I hear Lawrence Fishburne's voice more than I hear Keanu Reeves. I see Keanu Reeves in action, but I remember Lawrence Fishburne's voice. He is the voice and soul of the Matrix to me, kind of like how James Earl Jones is to Star Wars and Darth Vader. So them not bringing him back for part 4, I think was a huge misstep. I think it would have been critical to have Hugo Weaving and Lawrence Fishburne return. And I hope in The Matrix 5, we get more of the core cast back. We're also getting a revival of, what else are we getting? We're getting The Goonies. The Goonies is coming back. We're getting Beetlejuice 3, right? But where are all the new ideas? I mean, I wouldn't mind some of the bigger creators out there playing with these properties. J.J. Abrams on a Goonies movie? I would be okay with that. I would be okay if J.J. Abrams was like, I'll do it. I'm like, if J.J. Abrams wants to make sequels to Steven Spielberg movies, just one, don't bring them back for more than one, just one. But if J.J. Abrams wanted to make sequels to Steven Spielberg movies, if he said, oh, I want to do Jurassic World, get the fuck out the way and let this man cook. Oh, I want to do the Goonies. Hey, you guys, get the fuck out the way and let this man cook. Sure, I don't see it happening, but I would still love it. Or better yet, how about a Gremlins movie by Jordan Peele? What would that look like? What do y'all think? Like, could either one of these work as a limited streaming series or a movie with these other creators? Or are you just okay with leaving it in the past and never touching it again? Right? Like some people are okay with it. Not everybody's okay with it. Like, I often wonder, like, should modern reboots even exist? Should they reflect modern sensibilities or Gen Z sensibilities? Or should they just stick to the 80s aesthetics? Let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments, because I was sitting here wondering about this for a while. We got Beetlejuice 2 so many years after the first one. And yes, the movie was fun. Yes, Michael Keaton still plays a great Beetlejuice. However, I felt the movie was tame. I enjoyed it. It made me chuckle, but I didn't feel like I wanted more after that. But we're getting more anyway. So what do you think could help revive these franchises? There's so many creators I think could do interesting things with these franchises if they wanted to. Fed Alvarez, the dude who did the most recent Aliens movie, let him in the kitchen. Let him cook. I would even take Andy Muschietti. Bring him in. He'd probably do a great Beetlejuice. Let him cook. Let him cook. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. We about to get Welcome to Derry, so let me know. Let me see what you guys are saying. Where is my... Here we go. Do you like the casting for Jon Stewart for the Lantern series? I'm going to come back to this, Fernando. This is a huge tangent. I'm going to come back to this. I already started. Did you hear about John Boyega wanting to play Bishop? Here you go again. I'll come back to this. This is a huge tangent. Why is The Matrix 5 coming? Why not? The Matrix is, The Matrix is so relevant as a concept. It is so relevant as a concept, especially now. Like, don't it feel like we're living in the Matrix? You know what I mean? Like, don't it feel like people are controlling your news feeds, getting you riled up about things you probably wouldn't have been riled up about? Like, oh man, it's not fair. These Italian tariffs are so high, and I've got to spend more on this Gucci bag that I was going to buy anyway, or this Lamborghini. So expensive. Oh, stuff from Mexico, so expensive. Canada, oh, it's not fair. It's ruining my life. Weren't you guys feeling? Why not? Why not? Matrix 5. Yeah, Gothic Chick is with me. Gothic Chick is with me about this one. Be a nice change if someone wrote something new as good as the original Matrix. Yes, and you know what that requires? Good writers. This is one of the times I would be like, the Russo brothers would probably thrive in the Matrix. They don't thrive in what they're doing now outside of Marvel, but I feel like the Matrix is something they could sink their teeth into and do well in. Yes, I think somebody has it in them. I hope he saves the Matrix franchise, because the last one was, I didn't mind it, but I understand. I think it could have been better, and I think it could go back. Vince, what you doing over here? What how'd you even find out about this? Did I invite you? I should have invited you. I may send you. Matter of fact, let me send you a link in case you want to join. But yeah, Yaya wasn't bad in his performance, but the writing is probably what I think people have contention with, because it took the character in directions that nobody was really asking for. So yeah, Part 4 was a misstep. I think Part 4 was a misstep because they didn't bring the whole cast back together, which is the same reason I have reservations about Avengers Doomsday. You need both Wachowskis involved, right? Don't just bring me one writer. I need two. Both of them working together is what cooked. That's why I'm a little nervous about the Avengers movies, because we only got one of our writers back from Endgame, not both of them. And without them feeding each other, a little nervous. There's so many things about the fourth Matrix that I like, that I could talk about at length, and I'm gonna save that for another show. Very happy to hear about another Goonies movie. Gremlins remake is also coming. Yeah, Goonies, do it. I was always hoping to have another Goonies movie as a kid. Do it. I co-signed JJ. Yes, see, when you put the right director, the right creator with the right project, I think we all love the idea. Do it. And let Jordan Peele do it. Gremlins or something too. Do it. They got to bring Slothman back, Baby Rufino. Yes. What was his name? Hey, you guys. It's Sloth. Jordan Peele or Ryan Coogler should be hired to write and direct Blade. I could see it. I wouldn't be mad with a few directors. Like I said before, I would be okay if Antoine Fuqua said he wanted to make Blade, because my man makes a solid action movie. He might not make a good slave period piece like that, but he makes a good action movie. Antoine Fuqua is cooking with these action picks, and I think he understands the assignment well enough to really do it justice if he was interested. So I think there are a few other creators. It's just that there's so many creators that dominate our headlines that it's hard to remember who the other creators are. I think I did this the other day. So there was what's his name? Fukuyama. Damn it. Alan Hughes, the one who did the Book of Eli. He would cook. He would cook with Blade. The Book of Eli director? Get it? Yo, fuck out the way and let this man cook. Of course, yes, Ryan Coogler would do a good job. Fuqua. There's a few people out there that could do the assignment, who can handle it as well. I would even let Donald Glover help write. You know, there's so many people out there who could help make these franchises into what we want, what we hope that they would be. So yeah, I would love that. Oh, what the? This guy here. Hey, I want to let y'all know. Hey, I want to let y'all know. Thank you, my bro Vince, for the nice little super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Listen, if you guys want a super chat, I absolutely accept it. If you guys want, I would definitely highlight your comment. Vince didn't even have a question. This was your time. But yes, absolutely. We're going to feel free to super chat if you want to. I still got the Venmo and the Cash App if you guys want it. I'll bring the banner up toward the end of the video. But thank you so much, Vince. I really appreciate it. Hopping back into some of these comments. Let's see. I think the world ended in 2003. We now live in a Matrix-like state. That's why we get so many goddamn reboots and sequels. Yeah. You know, how old did you turn in 2003? It's very telling. I'm the same way. Once I hit like 30, I was like, ooh. It's kind of fucked up around here. Ugh. I'm drinking soda. Ugh. Somebody hand me a seltzer, quick. Like as soon as I hit 30, everything changed. Marquisha says she agrees with changing everything up with these reboots. Thank you so much. Not a Matrix should have been a prequel, not Neo-based. I wouldn't mind a Matrix where we see previous iterations of the one and how they failed. That would be cool. I wouldn't be mad if we had some prequels to the Matrix, showing all those older versions. You could leave Neil Patrick Harris at home. He was cool, but you can leave him at home. And yeah, I'm okay with that, Vince. I'm okay with that. Give me a Morpheus origin story. I would be okay with that too, to see how he got aligned with the Resistance, how he became enlightened, and how he became the figure that he is. I've always felt I was stuck in the Matrix. It feels real. I ain't gonna lie, it feels real. Think about it. If 2002, if Beetlejuice came out then, it would not get a sequel. It depends on the money. Money dictates sequels. Look what happened to the Joker. You make money, you get a sequel. Unless it's a Will Smith movie or other black-led movies. Let me see what else we got. He was really good in the Candyman remake. Yahya Abdul-Mateen was cooking in the Candyman remake, and that was directed by Nia DaCosta, the same actress, director who worked on the Marvels. But when she was able to cook, she cooked. When she wasn't able to cook, we got the Marvels. I heard they purposely made The Matrix 4 bad. I don't think they purposely made it bad, but I think they purposely experimented with it in ways they wouldn't have before because they weren't as motivated to make it. Frankie, I thought you wasn't gonna make it. Aren't you supposed to be watching Sinners? I could swear you told me you was gonna watch Sinners. But thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, Frankie. Why aren't the other writers for the Avengers at the table? I didn't know that. Yeah, it's just I figured it's the original writers were Marcus and McFeely, and I think only McFeely came back. I don't know what happened with Marcus, which is crazy because it felt like there was plenty of financial motivation to bring everybody back with this one. Like Robert Downey Jr. is rumored to have a 9-figure deal out of this, so he gets like a 9-figure deal, which is over $100 million. A private jet. Disney bought him a private jet. He gets to bring his entire entourage. Disney has to pay for all of his 30 to 50 entourage that travels with him. They have to pay for their flights, their hotels, their meals. He gets to have a compound of RVs on set for him and all his friends, and it's over throughout the life of his career as Dr. Doom in the MCU. So it felt like there was a lot of financial motivations to go around. So I don't know why they're not coming back. But yeah, we got this Beetlejuice 2. We've got the Gremlins coming back. We've got Beetlejuice 3, excuse me. We got the Gremlins coming back. I'm curious what everybody is thinking about all these reboots coming back and more. There was some other news I wanted to talk about. Let me make sure I got everything in here. Man, I hate peeling back the curtain and you guys seeing what's in my wheelhouse here. So let me go ahead and stop for a moment because there was one other thing I wanted to touch on very quickly. Because I do like Star Wars to a degree. And there was some news about new Star Wars project that would be based in horror. So let me see if I can find it real quick. I felt like there was an image floating around online, and I don't know if it was here we go. Let me share this here. See, if I had Vince helping me, Vince be having everything queued up for us on the new Blurred Order. Like, I just sit back and relax. He's like, I got the clip, I got the segment, I got the camera shots. This is where Anthony's head is going to be. This is where he's going to be if he shows up late. It's so much more fun when I'm here with Vince. I got to send you the link, but he makes it so much more enjoyable. I really appreciate you and then doing our live streams on Saturdays. If you guys don't know, I go live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern till 12 noon with the new Blurred Order, which is our collective of creators all talking about all the projects and films that we love based around blurred culture. So hope you guys are interested in joining us one of these Saturdays, hopefully this Saturday, where we're going to talk about a whole plethora of things, including, I'm sure, The Last of Us. So like I said, this news came out. Culture Crave covered it. Business Insider covered it. A few other major outlets covered it. And it says that Tony Gilroy says that Lucasfilm has a Star Wars horror project in the works. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, Star Wars is going horror now? Because apparently the Sith Lords wasn't terrifying enough? That's what y'all wanted? Kylo Ren meets The Conjuring? Chewbacca's going to be growling in tongues. R2-D2 is going to have his head spinning like it's possessed. Obi-Wan's going to be hiding under the bed with a flash of Anakin crawling up the wall like the Stalker. You know, somewhere in the background, Jar Jar Binks is going to show up uninvited too. But every horror movie got that one character that should have died first, but somehow survives until the sequel. But we're getting it. We're getting a Star Wars horror project. This is what we wanted? Okay. I didn't know. This one caught me off guard. And the way that Star Wars is going now, I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up on Disney Plus. I don't expect this to be a movie. I haven't seen a Star Wars movie in a while. So I don't know. I expect it to be a Disney Plus series. Maybe even animated like Marvel Zombies. I don't know. I don't know. Star Wars just didn't feel like, to me, the franchise that I would have expected to go into this direction. I'm not saying it's going to necessarily absolutely be a bad thing, but I feel like, for me anyway, I showed up for the Space Ninjas with laser swords. I'm here for ninjas. I'm here for ninjas with laser swords chopping people down. That's what I love about Star Wars. I love it. Horror? I mean, it was kind of cool at the end of Rogue One when Darth Vader showed up like this and his lightsaber just ignited and illuminated the room. And we had that moment where everybody's running out of terror because the boogeyman showed up. But I didn't know if I wanted like a movie of that. Did you? We all knew Disney would back that money. I didn't know. I thought they would have got Chris Evans back first. I thought they would have recast T'Challa first, but that's what we got. I don't know how to feel about a Star Wars horror flick. Fernando's with me on it. Fernando, we in the same boat. It's not the franchise that I was sitting here like, what franchise could use a horror? You know what I mean? It just wasn't what I was thinking of at the time. It better have good writing, directing, and acting. Listen. Hold it. Slow down. Let's be honest here. I don't think anybody was checking out Star Wars for the good acting. I'm not saying the acting's been the worst, but nobody's been checking for Star Wars for good acting. Like Anakin, Hayden Christensen, we love you. You're my Darth Vader. I'm going to stop right there because I love you and you're my Darth Vader. But ain't nobody really checking for Star Wars for the acting. I don't think we was really checking for it for the directing either. Remember that fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader at the end of A New Hope? Y'all remember that fight? That lightsaber fight? Our imagination had to do a lot of heavy lifting while watching that movie. So yeah, I hear you. I want every film to have good writing, directing, and acting, but I'll stop there. I'm not picking on you, Gothic chick. You my day one. Oh, who calling me? Oh, sugar honey iced tea. I forgot I am supposed to be. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got? Disney's made Star Wars Jar Jar Binks are great. Oh, you mean the actor when they made him a Jedi? That's what you mean, right? Not Jar Jar himself. You mean when they made the actor into a Jedi and he saved Grogu, right? Because Jar Jar Binks ruined that guy's, not just his career, his life. Like he had to go into therapy for a long time. He never took another act. He left acting entirely after playing Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, I hope you mean what I think you mean. Let me see what else you guys are saying. By the way, I saw Prey. It's pretty good. Predator. It's a pretty good Predator. It went to a pretty cool direction. You did it, Fernando. I told you. Have I ever steered you wrong? Don't answer that. But yeah, Prey is a solid film. And I'm excited to see more Predator films coming out of the franchise in the near future. So yeah. Let me see how many people we got up in here. Man, there's a good amount of y'all coming up in here from Twitter. As much as I talk about Twitter. But yeah, appreciate you all coming through. Listen, you Twitter people, I tell y'all all the time, there's like 20 of y'all. One, if you want, come on over to YouTube. It's a much more fun experience with the chat. You can engage with the chat. However, if you want, leave a comment and I can pull your comment up in the chat. I can pull up from all the platforms we're streaming up into this screen here. But yeah, I don't know what's been more expected. Joel's emotional detachment or the fact that we're getting the Beetlejuice 3. But you know what? Let's talk about it because this week it's all coming back to life. Now the next thing that I kind of wanted to do is I kind of did this with the new Blurred Order, but I feel like some of y'all might have missed it. So I wanted to give you all a little review of the movie Sinners going into its opening week. People can check it out today. I believe it opens wide on Friday, but if you're living in a major market like New York or LA, they usually have early screenings on Thursday. I'm gonna give you my nice little spoiler-free review for the film Sinners. So let me go ahead, bring up my little background clip, and let's get started. So let me tell you something right now. Sinners pulled up on me like a late night knock from your ex who suddenly found Jesus, but she still bites. Now, this is the wildest, most spiritual, most black-ass vampire movie I've seen since A Vampire in Brooklyn. Coogler and Jordan did not come to play, right? So this movie, it kicks off in 1932 in the deep, in the dirty South, where jump scares come faster than rent notices, and has a haunting gospel track following you every move. Michael B. Jordan's out here pulling double duty, playing twin brothers Stack and Smoke, trying to leave the Chicago life behind. But as soon as they set foot back in their hometown, evil is waiting on the porch like it never moved out. There are Native Americans in this movie, cotton fields, brothels, baptisms, and music that'll grab your soul before the devil even has a chance. Now, this is not your average horror flick. This is Black, Southern, Gothic, Lovecraftian, blood gospel cinema, and I loved it. Listen, I walked out the theater wanting to do a crip walk right back in, but there's so much to unpack. This movie right here has so much incredible detail in the way that it created this world, created these characters, and created everything that you see on the screen. First off, this was shot on real IMAX film, right? Not digital. It's 65 millimeter, which is 10 times the resolution of normal film. So when you see all that texture in the background, when you see the heat, when you see the sweat, when you see the swamp fog, that's not CGI. That's real sweat, real humidity, real Southern nastiness up on these actors. And get this, they built the whole town from scratch. The whole thing. Gas stations, movie theater, barbershop, even the juke joint. They distressed the fresh wood to make it look like it was 100 years old. This thing was handcrafted like it came out of your granddad's toolbox. Now, let me put it like this. This movie is dense, if you can get the hint from what I'm telling you just about what's in the background. When do you ever tell me focus on the background? This movie had me focusing on the background because it's dense. It's not like hard to follow, but like you're going to need a friend, a Bible, maybe a music historian to fully get it. It's giving symbolism. It's giving subtext. It's giving you keep dancing with the devil. One day he's going to follow you home. And yes, there's horror. There is horror, but it's slow. It's not boring slow, more like make love instead of a quickie slow. That let me set the mood kind of pacing. Let me light some candles. It's deliberate. It's sexy. Acting wise, everybody brought their A game. Michael B. Jordan, he gives you two fully fleshed out characters. Now, to me, This is Michael B. Jordan's probably the most I've ever seen him stretch as an actor. Like, this is the most I've seen him push himself to give you really deep, unique characters. And this isn't like a simple split screen trick. He went all in. Like, they came up with a something called the Halo rig. Like, I did research. A Halo rig, which is like a shoulder harness with like 10 cameras pointed at his face. So this way he could act against himself in IMAX clarity. Not just act. It was so cool to see them interact. You would actually think that there were two of them. Smoke, he's heavy. He's stoic. You can see the war and grief in his shoulders. Stack is flashy, fast talking, always dripped out in rings and tailored suits. Same actor, two whole different people. Wumi Masaku from Loki, heartbreaking. She deserves all her flowers and more. Then there's my man Delroy Lindo, right? My man Delroy is playing a character named Delta Slim, who's somehow drunk and divine the whole movie. He got that I've seen too much wisdom, right? Like, man, you guys don't even know. And he also got that, yo, pass me my drink, whiskey, energy, right? Like, he's like, you can kind of tell what time he's on. But every time he showed up, I paid attention like I owed him money. Haley Steinfeld is also out here doing some things. I ain't going to get too deep into her role because I'm going to just say she did her thing. I'm going to just say she did her things. There's also newcomers in this film like, oh my goodness, why am I blanking on names? Lee Jun Lee, Jamie Lawson, and Miles Catton. So Miles comes out and he plays a really cool role. I thought he was the dude from the Wu-Tang TV show because he talks like this. I thought that was him, but it wasn't him. But he came through and they all delivered some really, really cool, really powerful performances. Lee Jun Lee, I got to talk to her recently in my Sinners Roundtable chat, and she gave me some jewels about how hard this movie hit to her culturally, because they actually pulled in research from a documentarian who studied the Chinese community in the Mississippi Delta. Omar Benson, my man, he's a clown. He's always like making us laugh and making everybody laugh. If you guys want, I'll put a link to the roundtable interview I have with the cast, and you can see just the energy. He kept bringing up Spade. Like, what do you do? He's like, he's still talking about the night before. He's such a fun dude, and he carries that energy into this movie. Jack O'Connell, Jumpin' Jack. And yeah, look, I need y'all to do me a favor. If you're in the industry, if you ever get an opportunity to interview Jack O'Connell, if you want to get him to open up, call him Jumpin' Jack. He'll know what it means. Trust me. But I love the way that this cast brought so much cool energy, so much cool chemistry, so much fun into this movie. But let's talk themes real quick. The movie is layered, right? Like I said, we got religious metaphors, we got historical trauma. Racism is like a literal infection. The music is a weapon of this. I won't say it's a weapon, but it feels like a character. It's doing a lot. There's a moment in the movie that I won't ruin because I want you to enjoy it organically. But there's a moment midway through the movie that is super powerful. That's what my wife likes to say. It's powerful. It's such a powerful moment halfway through the movie. It takes place near fire. I want you to see it. I want you to come back and you tell me what was your feeling after seeing that movie. You tell me if it's horror, if it's gospel, if it's spiritual, or if it's all of the above. There's so many layered details. Like, there's even hoodoo stuff in there. Hoodoo, not voodoo, hoodoo. And it's because Coogler had this done so well because he brought in actual spiritual consultants to make sure that everything in the film was accurate, even down to the color of the paint of Annie's house being haint blue. Haint blue is a specific color to ward off spirits. So accurate. That's not movie magic. That's knowledge and care. There's so many things about the threat in this film that you're going to see a running theme that I think is going to, people are going to love or hate. Now, if you look at the reviews online right now, it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. No film in my history as a critic has ever maintained such a score for so long across so many critics. It might have diminished now. Maybe it's like 95, 98, but it was 100 for a long time. That's saying something. Oh, and do us all a favor and stay for the after credit scene. There's two of them. One is going to give some closure. The other one is going to do something bigger. I'm not saying there's what's coming, but if there is something coming after this, I already bought my ticket. I'm in. Like I said, this movie did so much well. Shout out to Ludwig Göransson. He took a road trip with Coogler through the South to make sure he got it right. They hit up BB King's hometown and listened to some actual music from the juke joints. There's a real 1930s Dobro Cyclops. It's not a prop. Ludwig used an actual vintage guitar. Like, the man literally scored the movie with his own blues bones that he developed while producing this film. So my final verdict, Sinners is the movie to beat in 2025. Yeah, I remember when Dune 2 came out in early 2024 with all the fireworks. This is the one that is the new Dune. This one came with a sermon, it came with a seance, and it came with a shotgun. Good luck topping that for any movie that comes out after. So yeah, run, don't walk to the theater, just don't go alone. Bring a friend. Bring your spiritual advisor. Bring your cousin who plays bass and talks to spirits. And if you got a racist uncle, you leave his ass at home because he's going to catch feelings in these hands. Anyway, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment if you saw Sinners or if you're still emotionally recovering. I'm going to catch y'all in the comments whenever y'all talk about this one because I'm excited to finally get to talk to y'all about this one. Let me know if you have already seen it or if you're going to see it. Fernando, I'm excited about Sinners. Frankie, Sinners, yeah. We just need Debbie out here to tell us what she thinks. I know Debbie is her husband worked on this one. It's in the UK. It's 2 months. Can't wait. Look, stay off the internet. Stay off the internet. This is like this is not an Avengers level movie. I don't fall for that level of hype. It's a great movie, but this isn't one of those where you're gonna be. I don't want you to walk into this with false expectations and then it not deliver that on your left moment, right? It don't deliver that Cap picking up the hammer moment. That took 20 years of buildup. Slow down. Oh, Frankie, you saw it. Finally, somebody could co-sign what I've been saying. Finally. She says, you're going to love it. It was amazing. And it's deep. You going tomorrow? All right, listen. Me and the Blurds are going to go live on Saturday morning. So if you do get a chance to see it, and this is putting pressure on Vince now, go see it and let us know on Saturday morning. 40X is available. Can't wait to see it. I love hate 40X. I just saw The Accountant 2 in 40X, and love or hate. TJ, welcome. God bless you, man. Thank you for coming through. What's good, my guy? Look, I moved my time to better accommodate everyone. I moved this to Thursdays. I moved this to 6 to 8 because I knew so many people were coming in at that time. I appreciate you coming through. Fernando, you're going to see it tomorrow. Mr. Leo, yes. Stay off the internet. Yes. Go check it out. I appreciate it. And don't forget, Saturday morning, I'm going to pull up on the Blurds for anybody who's seen it. I'm putting pressure on Vince to go see it tomorrow because he ain't going to want people to come up in the, like Anthony told them all to come. And I ain't see the movie. I'm putting pressure on Vince right now. And the rest of you Blurds. Yaz, Nolly, y'all know the assignment. Call out sick. Appreciate you, TJ. Appreciate you. I'm supposed to have a post-credit scene. I'm used to just comic book movies doing post. Yes, I'm surprised. That's what you mean. I got you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. Like, if I didn't know to wait, I wouldn't have known. But I'm giving you the heads up now because you don't want to be those people who didn't know it was there and then have to go see it again. Actually, maybe you will go see it again anyway. Don't tell other people. right? Don't tell other people. Tell them about it after and be like, oh, you didn't see it? Go buy it again. Support this movie. Support this movie. Ryan Coogler made this movie on a budget of $80 million. I think it's probably got a marketing budget of over 120 million because they've done openings and a massive marketing promotional tour. Because I haven't heard anyone tell me that they've seen a commercial for it. I haven't seen any posters for it on buses, trains, or anything. Even Kevin Hart movies had more promotion. But word of mouth, go check it out. This is the movie to beat. I'm telling you, this is the one. Let me see. What else did I have to talk about tonight? Just a couple small things because I think we're getting near the end, and I want to do some Q&A with you guys afterwards because I know I love to do the Q&A. Real quick, for some of you who know her, oh, I got to stop this first. There we go. Now, for some of you who know her, Ayo Edebiri, I think she works on so many things, but Boston finally did it right. April 10th is officially Ayo Edebiri Day. For those of you who don't know who she is, let me tell you, voice acting, she's killing it. Live action, she's killing it. Sketch comedy, she's already ghostwriting your favorite lines. This woman has been quietly running the entire comedy genre across voice acting, live action, indie films, and award stages, and she's only 28 years old. Let's just talk about the multiverse of Ayo. One, she's in The Bear, right? You remember The Bear, right? She plays Sydney, a stressed out, emotionally intelligent chef in Chicago, aka every Black woman who's ever worked in a white-dominated workplace. In Bottoms, she gave us queer Fight Club fever dreams, and she made it heartfelt, horny, and hilarious. Big Mouth, she replaced Jenny Slate as Missy and body bagged that performance like it was an acting masterclass in puberty. Meanwhile, we're still waiting on Hollywood to give Quinta her own day in a budget. But Boston got it right because they gave this woman her flowers, they acknowledged her, and they gave her her own holiday in Boston. So mark the day on your calendars. April 10th is Ayo Edibiri Day. I just want to give her her flowers. I am going to be that person who's out here supporting Black women in their roles. Shout out to Ayo. Let's see, what else? I think that was everything. That's all of my topics. Man, did I cover everything? It's been 2 hours. It's been an hour and 43. Thank you all. So yeah, let me go around to these questions that I saved for later. Mr. Leo G, he's got a question for me. Let me hit some Q&A for you guys. So if you guys have any questions about any of the topics, anything you want me to go back into, whether it's The Last of Us, whether it's Beetlejuice, whether it's The Goonies, whether it's Sinners, let me know. I'm happy to definitely chill out and vibe out with you guys. We got like what, 15 minutes? We got time. But let me hit these starred comments first. The first day. Do you like the casting of Jon Stewart for the Lantern series? So here's my thing, right? I remember watching Rebel Ridge. It was a movie I had no plans on watching when I first heard about it. But then one day I'm sitting, I ain't got nothing to watch. I had some time to kill, and there's Rebel Ridge. I'm like, all right, whatever, put it on in the background. And then I messed around and I started paying attention. And I saw this man act. And he's playing an Army veteran, and he's playing the role so wonderfully. From the cadence to the pacing to the deliberateness of someone who is very fresh out of the military, adjusting to civilian life. I thought he was wonderful in that role. Do I think that he will give us a great performance? Absolutely. Do I like the casting? With an asterisk, mainly because the Jon Stewart I grew up with was not him. He comes up for some reason. He was a different complexion. He was a different complexion dude. And I know complexion doesn't always come up as something that's thought of with everyone, but in certain minority cultures like the Asian community, South Asian community, the Black community, colorism is a topic of conversation often. Now, there are people who have told me straight up, I think that this man is the same color as this man. And God bless you. Some people think I'm the same complexion as Idris Elba. I'm not. So I would have loved if some of our darker skinned actors out there, like the John Boyegos or the Daniel Kaluuyas or any other dark Miles Catone, Damson Idris. There's so many actors in the world who look like the way John was depicted that could have gotten the role. I think I would have loved to see. However, I still think he's going to give us a great performance. Kind of like I'm not saying that Papa Isidu is going to give us a bad performance as Snape. However, there's a lot of people who would have been like, I kind of would have loved if he looked like the way he was described in the book, right? It's not wrong for me to want to project how he was historically presented, but it's also not wrong for them to go in a new direction with the casting of the character. That said, yes, I do think he's going to give us a fantastic performance. I think he's more than capable to do the role, and give us a Jon Stewart that is just as loved and beloved as what we saw in Saturday morning cartoons as kids in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. But it would have been cool if they would have cast somebody that was more in line with how he was historically depicted. So I'm okay with it. Did you hear about John Boyega wanting to play Bishop? So I thought about making this a topic for tonight, and it touches on a couple different things because do I think he could give us a good Bishop? Somehow he drops his British accent and gives us amazing performances all the time. I'm just not as excited for the character Bishop as some others might be. He's a cool character, and I think I got his toys right here. Well, yeah, he's right here. You see, I got his toy right here. I'm huge. I am a fan of the character, but he's not the first X-Man that comes to mind when I think of he's not even in my top 5. It's like Storm, Wolverine, Storm. Like those are, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. It depends on what type of role they want to give Bishop, if he were to play an expanded role. But the problem is that a lot of times when you get these A-list actors or these bigger name actors, they always want to spin off into their own film. And I'm not sure I would ever be like, John should get his own Bishop movie. I don't know. Plus, ain't Bishop like part Native American or something? Puerto Rican? I don't know. He's got that long, straight hair or curly hair in the comics. I don't know. He's I don't know. I'm okay with it, but I think that he would be better served, and we as an audience would be better served if they gave him a character that had more to offer than Bishop. He's okay. What was the next question? Have you watched The Woman in the Yard yet? You haven't seen my review? I did a whole review on The Woman in the Yard. It's on my channel right now. Man, how you ain't seen my review for The Woman in the Yard? Yes, I saw The Woman in the Yard. I have a review for it. I'm not going to give you my full review here because I want you to go watch my review on my channel. But I did review it. Long story short, it had me for the first 2 acts, and then the last act kind of lost me. But go ahead, check out my full review. It's right over here on the channel. Look, right here, me looking bewildered. with the woman in the yard. There it is right there. Definitely go check it out and let me know your thoughts after you've had a chance to watch and come back. All right, so real quick, sidebar before we get out of here, because all of y'all have been asking for it, it's finally happening. I'm going to be rolling out YouTube memberships real soon. Don't worry, my Patreon fam, y'all are still my day ones, and you still get all the love, the perks, and the behind the scenes rants and the breakdowns that I record late at night at 2 a.m. But for folks who live on YouTube, this is going to be a new way to support the channel right here where you watch the content anyway. So the YouTube memberships, I'm going to give you early access to my videos before the algorithm eats them. We're going to do members only chats during some of the live streams. Maybe I'll even do some members only live streams for you and the Patreon folks. I'm going to give you guys behind the scene clips. I'm going to give you a tour of my office so you can see what I've done here to make it a little bit more entertaining for you all. You're going to get polls and stuff I can't post publicly without, Disney having a problem with the stuff that I say. And like I said, maybe some of those member only streams where I really let loose. So look, whether you hit join or not, this show's always going to be here for the community every Thursday at 6. But if you're going to be part of the inner circle and unlock some goodies in the process, it's coming soon. That's going to be where I give away tickets to stuff, right? For one of you out there, know I got y'all some tickets to go see Sinners. Until then, hit that notification bell like it owes you child support, and let's keep this joint building. Patreon, guys, I'm going to give you guys some bonus time this weekend right after my live stream with the new Blurred Order. I'm going to give you guys a private Patreon live stream where I'm going to do a review for The Accountant 2. I got to see The Accountant 2 in 4DX. This one is Patreon and members only for now, but I'll talk about the movie and do Q&A right after to give you all the insight on what else I'm cooking behind the scenes. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. Let me see if you guys got any more comments for me. TJ, my sister's half black. I support all black sisters in the industry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. He is a bit light-skinned. Some people do have trouble seeing shades. I mean, when you don't have that as a topic or something to even consider, why would you? Right? Like, there's a lot of people who are ignorant to other cultures because we just don't have it as part of our everyday lives, right? It took me until I got older to discern people from different regions of the world. And I won't say which ones, but because I'm embarrassed to say which ones, but it took me until I was older to be like, oh, he's from here, he's from there. I can tell. But yeah, always the light-skinned guys getting the good end of the stick for too long, getting all the roles like Will Smith in the day. Yeah, I will admit that even today, when I do see black people in movies, it's not common to see people past my complexion, darker than me, in film or television. Like, the black guy it's very few Samuel L. Jacksons, a lot more Will Smiths. I'm gonna leave it at that. Where is our static? Oops. Where is our Static Shock movie? Where is our Static Shock movie? Where is our Static Shock movie? 100%. This is money just sitting on the table, not getting touched. Static Shock has such a fervorous, high demand to come back as a cartoon, to come back as a live action TV series, to come back as a movie. There's people lined up outside the theater right now waiting to buy tickets at the moment of the announcement. I'm waiting for James Gunn to announce it. I'm waiting for James Gunn to say, hey, we are going to do black-led DCU movies. He hasn't announced one black-led DCU movie yet. It's been like 2.5 years that he had this role as CEO. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Oh shit, only came out here today. I watched it though in your review. All right, listen, maybe watch the movie first because it's a little spoilery. Motown Investor. Hey, look, you caught us at the tail end of the live stream. We're about to wrap up in any minute now. Thanks for all the good intel, Anthony. Glad I was able to come through today. Oh, I did want to show y'all one more thing. Oh, snap. Almost forgot. Oh, shoot. I only got a couple minutes. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to have to do it here. This is going to be really, really quick because I meant to do it earlier. Now, I know some of the Frumly is used to me doing this, where I sometimes give you guys opportunities because I get access to stuff to see images from stuff that's not yet released. So I was given access to a couple of images from The Last of Us episode 2. I don't know if they're out there yet, but I wanted to put it out there for all of you guys in case you guys were interested in seeing some of the scenes that are going to be coming in episode 2. This is not from episode 1. You can tell from the straw in the drink. I'm going to quickly skim through some of these so you guys get some views on some of the scenes that are coming in episode 2. Episode 2 is coming out soon. I'm hyped for it. Sterling K. Brown is getting roles. Now, my man's been giving us amazing performances for a while now, and I hope Paradise is the first step in bigger and better things. He should be in movies, leading. He should be. With a Static Shock, they can lead into Icon and Rocket. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Fernando, great stream as usual. Thank you for the entertainment and the cool info. I appreciate you, Fernando. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys for coming through and robbing with us. Vince, my bad. I'm sorry. I meant to send you the link. I got carried away. I'm going to keep scrolling through some of these images as we move forward because there's some very good hype moments coming in the next few episodes of this show, The Last of Us. Yeah, Abby. Here, let me knock myself into the corner, right? Get myself out the way so y'all could see this properly. Oh, that didn't work, right? There we go. Is that it? That's all my images? All right. So all my images from episode 2. I was given some early looks to share with you all. Anyway, that's all I have for this week, guys. Listen, if you're new here to TMB, do me a favor. Come back to The Correct Opinion. That's the new name of the show. We're calling ourselves The Correct Opinion. Come check us out every Thursday, 6 to 8. I'm going to come back with all the news, reviews, and laughs for all of yous. Until next time, I'm going to check you all later. Peace.